our brothers them. They see you as Judas.
Correct. I see the Judas comments. You know, I just uninstalled a couple of my apps because they were interfering with me trying to go join you. When we finish this live, I will go install them back. All right, so I want to apologize to fellow Nigerians who may feel disturbed and I don't know the other word. Would you say reported? Mr. Block said I reported to British authorities. That's not correct. That's not correct. Media is powerful. Baba, you know this thing. You know how it works. And everybody is running with Instablock's caption, which is really funny and sad. So I gave an interview. You know, so interview the long.
Yes.
Interview the long. You get question where you go, they go ask you, you go answer. You get follow-up question. It was an entire conversation. And everything you have been mentioning regarding how we stress ourselves, how the British system stresses us, I addressed that in my interview, right? The unnecessary stress that they put us through. But the problem now is they took 25 seconds from the 30 minutes interview that we had. And this is the whole explanation to the whole dragging. It's crazy.
Okay. Now that you are before your brothers and sisters, what did you really say?
Good. What did I really say? First is I'm just coming from Twitter. I did a 1 hour space and Nigerians are online. Trust me, 7,500 people joined that space. Never seen those numbers before. Right? People joined the space because of the negativity that this story comes with. So what did I really say? First is I was invited because I actually help people to Japa. You see? This is the problem. I have been helping people. So the BBC's recognized that I do help. And in the beginning of the video that's been shared around, you will see the Mark, the news reporter mentioned that this is a guy who actually helps people come to Britain. This is what I want to do. This is what I am doing, even though it's part-time. So the goal is to look at the other options because government don't decide what they won't decide. I am not the UK government. This decision was made weeks ago. It is so sad that that 25 minutes, that 25 seconds, will fit into an agenda that I'm not aware of, is what they heard. And it's really disturbing, to be honest. Because yesterday, the entire crew was in my crib. The BBC crew were in my crib, and we spent 1 hour filming, but Daddy Freeze, over 1 hour with a film. So conversation of 30 minutes. How is it that it's only 25 seconds? Because if you look at the one that is really making people angry, it's not the fact that they showed my channel. It's not the fact that they said I'm helping people to come to Britain. They are only worried because Mark said, Emdee said, Emdee thinks that, you know, people, but let's leave reality. I am sorry for whoever is feeling disturbed. I feel 10 times of the pain that you feel. Because there's nothing in this life that is more painful than being misunderstood. To be honest, I have a lot of testimonies of people that I have helped, and I'm not going to stop because of this negative energy. I create simple, easy to follow guide because last, our brothers, the Mediterranean Sea, they die. People, the Sahara Desert, they waka. I have people messaging me from Libya, even today. They are what's the word for it? They are evicting Nigerians. What's that right word? They are removing Nigerians from Libya, and it's unnecessary. So the information that I am privileged to know, I lost you on the video, but hopefully people can still hear me. The information that I'm privileged to know, I don't hoard it, right? I try to share. That difference. I can't see you again.
I'm here with you 100%.
Okay, perfect. So I share this content, and I have actually helped even beyond Nigerians. I have Zimbabweans, I have Malawians, Ghanaians, Cameroonians, even people who don't enter UK. You know, who just don't feel comfortable and they want to move somewhere else. So I don't understand why I'm being dragged for somebody that is trying to stop people's opportunity. It is not me that is stopping the opportunity. And let's be frank. You see, Japa has come to stay. The government can't even stop it. They are trying to manage it. Instablog should carry this one. The reason why I joined, I know Instablog normally snapshots your life. So somebody called me and said, Daddy, please don't they discuss this thing. So I am here, and hopefully, because Yoruba will say, but now, normally, I cannot share the full interview. I have behind the scenes, Baba. I can share with you behind the scenes. But I don't even have the right to share the raw footage. Here you get, this is the BBC. You know now, you know proprietary stuff. So I have reached out to the BBC team to say, unfortunately, this was not what I bargained for. I have messaged them. Tomorrow they're setting up a meeting, you know. However they would like to clean this up, I would demand that they do some cleaning up. All right? Because as of yesterday, I was doing just fine with my life. Doing my YouTube thing, nobody's sharing my video, nobody's liking it. Now everybody wants to hear what I want to say. Because of negative energy, Baba. What did I do? So I shared a lot of the challenges that we have. Do you know, in this country, we have had to lie on people's CV. Person we don't become Oga for Niger. You reach here, British employer would discount all of your experience. It's as if you don't exist. So you have to start from ground zero, and that is sickening. I said this on the interview. That was not shared. All right? The fact that Oyo State is bigger than Wales. Wales, the whole of Wales is a country, right? Just like England. Wales is 21,000 square kilometers. In Wales. It's 21,000 square kilometers. Wales prints its own money. Wales has autonomy. Wales has a government. Wales country works. Oyo State is 28,000 square kilometers. Oyo State is bigger than Wales. Hello? But our structure, the structure that the British gave us, is sickening. And we haven't woken up to fix it. I said it on this interview. They can't carry 25 seconds where they can't say I report kiniko. I really feel disgusted, you know. But maybe there's a lesson in it, you know, for me and for people. Because if you judge a 30-minute conversation by a 25-minute snip,
25 seconds.
I'm sorry, by a 25-second snip, I am wondering who you really are. I'm wondering if you really think, if you really come down to think. You know, I mentioned all of this.
Ask a question: are you British now, or what papers are you using to live in the UK? You yourself.
This is private information. 2,000 people are listening, so it's not something I'm going to share. Sorry about that. It's not something I'm going to share. I consider myself a citizen of the world. I have lived on 4 continents. That is, we're in Dubai together, Kenya and Oman. You remember that night when we had dinner and you were helping us with Bible verses in Kenya at the reception downstairs?
Yeah.
Baba, you don't want that, so you know if you remember. We did safari together now. I will send you a picture. We did that Dubai safari together. You remember? It was sweet. Right? I have lived in the US. I'm not tied to any country. I'll be honest with you. I like to consider myself a global citizen. The UK is not it's not heaven. Let's be honest. Right? I'm here for now. Cool. I could decide to live somewhere else tomorrow. Right? I have been to China, for example. China was one of the first countries that I really experienced. I love China like hell. Good country. Forget about negative media, everything, you know, and the war that's going on, we versus them. So I have been around for a while, and the last thing I want to do is to throw anybody under the bus. If the BBC is happy to, you know, news now is very fast, very short, and there was an agenda that I was not aware of. And this is why it pains me, Baba. It really pains me. It really pains me. You know, because I shared lots of...
What point were you honestly trying to make? Honest to God now. What point were you trying to make? If you're watching on YouTube, because my YouTube phone, I have to charge it from one corner. I need you to send me those super chats right now, or I remove YouTube. TikTok, I'm not seeing my gifts. Where are all my money guns? If you're watching on TikTok, send me money guns. And all of you, 2,195 of you watching on Instagram, is it easy for me to be awake at this time of the night, giving you the first-hand information? All of you, go to Facebook right now, search for Daddy Freeze, DADDYFREEZE. Go there now. Search for Daddy Freeze. Scroll down to today's video. Click on the video. Bottom left-hand corner, you will see how to buy stars. Oh yeah, the first person to buy me 1,000 stars on Facebook gets a very special shout out. Once again, follow my top givers on TikTok. If you're watching on TikTok, we've got 400 people watching on TikTok, 200 on YouTube, and about another 400 on Facebook. So if you're watching on TikTok, send me those gifts. Follow my number 1, follow my number 2, and follow my number 3 gifters on TikTok. That's good. Machunta just sent me a money gun. Thank you so much. All right. Make this happen. I have not seen a single super chat or super sticker on YouTube. Make this happen. Oh yeah, guys. Now, let me ask you a question. Can you share with our people what exactly you are trying to say? Japa say, make I shoot you. Make I go find gun.
Fine gun. What's in our gun?
Oh,
Baba,
yeah.
Baba, if I recall, if my memory serves me right, I think the conversation that led to that tiny snippet was the question of cost, right? Cost of education. Nobody, no Nigerian needs a £15,000 master's degree. Let's be honest. All right. So I started to explain how ridiculous the school fees was, or is, the school fees regime, and how much the British government enjoys that, and then the probing was now like, so if people cannot afford that amount of money, what is the motivation? Do you get it? So I wasn't trying to, and it's a long conversation because last I've been on this space now. If I count the time, I've not been checking. I've been talking for probably 7 minutes or more, So if you ask me to say back everything I've said, I just know I'm answering your question and we're flowing. All right. So if you decide to snip one part that fits an agenda, it's totally out of my power. And I cannot tell the BBC what part to use.
I post my videos whole. So whoever's going to watch this video is going to watch it whole. That is why I want you to use this opportunity to not only redeem yourself, but explain to them. And now, how are you? Listen, let me tell you something. There are some parts that I agree with. And I was saying this before you joined. Nigeria, the Nigerian population was 45 million in 1960, while the UK population was 55 million. Today, the UK population is 65 million. Nigeria is 200 and something million. We also messed up, but this is for us to consume, not to give to the BBC. I will tell you, I used to have an orga in BCOS when I worked in BCOS Ibadan. Her name is Auntie Shade. There is nothing you want to do in this life, Auntie Shade will never cast you publicly. Auntie Shade go close door meeting all of us, insult you, go begin cry. But when it comes to the orgas, when the orgas call her and say what happened, she go cover them up. So you fit do live. Like now, I know say if I fit cost our brothers and sisters here, I know say BBC no go come my live, come carry with I talk. But the day I use my 2 leg go BBC, I will only say things that will make Nigeria look good. Even if they say, oh, religion that I know is Nigeria's biggest problem. If BBC people ask me, I will turn it on their head. I will say, you people brought the religion to us. So when you brought it to us, you had the intention to destroy us. I go flip out for them. I think come back on the cause our pastor. So that is where I personally believe that if you were doing it in your own YouTube space and complaining about, look, let me tell you, it is not a lie. We are 200 million people. The UK right now is 65 million. If you add another 20 million, you are adding a third of the UK's population, the UK will crumble. Thank you, Saint Obama, for sending me 10 pounds. UK people don't respond to me on YouTube. Thank you so much. But I don't know if you guys understand what I'm talking about. I think your biggest fault was casting us to the very people that destroyed us in the first place. And then now they are looking at what will happen. And imagine them taking 20 minutes of a conversation and bringing 25 seconds out of it that would quickly fuel whatever they are trying to buy or sell. So you two don't learn lesson. If you do any show with the imperialists, remember to be very careful what you tell them. Me, when I do my night live for nights, I know say the worst we go carry on na our Niger blogs and na still we. That's why I can sit down and tell my Nigerian brothers and sisters that you better fix your country, because 20 million people cannot run away from Nigeria. You know what 20 million is? 10% of Nigeria, only 10%. If he enters the UK will turn to Nigeria part 2, will crumble like we have crumbled. Some countries in Europe cannot, they are 50 million. You add anything from Nigeria past 5 million like this, the whole system will scatter. But that is me and you in our Nigerian space. BBC no fit come my life. Since I don't do live, BBC no they come carry. What they've done, I've been to a BBC interview before. They will invite me, I will go to the office, cross my leg, and whatever I say, I make sure I don't roll my brothers under the bus. So in my opinion, now where you take fall down, now be that. Because there are many things you said that are sensible, but it is where you said it. Baba, if you are, imagine say you catch your papa, they sleep with your neighbor house girl. You can trash it out with your father at home, but you know go meet your neighbor for public meeting. Say, hey, papa, you understand? You know where to have that conversations. So you also need to be very careful, because all these people where they look, we are all content creators. I was watching one movie on Netflix yesterday. We've Got a Ghost. You never see that movie before?
Not yet.
On Netflix, We've Got a Ghost. Baba, they discovered a ghost inside their house. The father comes, now the young boy, they talk to the ghost. The Baba comes here and Baba a content creator. Now Baba begin to build content around ghost. Baba, when they look for how he want to take retire, that's why he open YouTube channel bar on top ghosts where they their house. So what's that movie trying to tell us? Everybody is a content creator. We feed from our content. Just as they make money from your YouTube, they chop. Now so me too, they make money from my life. Now so BBC where invites you, they are making money. Now you need to understand that.
That's true. I wish I was making money from YouTube. I will.
How are you not? How many followers
you have? I mean, before the interview, you know, it's going to definitely have an impact, whether negative or positive. 16,000.
How can you not be making money off 16,000 followers?
The meaning is this: YouTube is no. I'm not even a vlogger. You see, everybody's just running with what works for them. I do this on the weekends, right? It's not even what I do full time at all. The BBC man asked me yesterday, and he's like, if this is part time for you, what if you do it full time? And I'm like, I'm not ready for a full time thing, right? I totally get the message, and thank you very much for the reminder. Because there's a future, yeah. I know that there's still more opportunities to do great things, and I don't know. I would have to find a balance between being real, you know, and being diplomatic. All right, because waiting happened before that 25 seconds. Because if you want to be real, you would offend people. Do you understand? If you want to be real, like people don't they cost you since we were mentioning why are they Japa. This is you were talking about the Romanian story. They don't they cost you since.
I'm going to block them. I'm going to shake for them. But I will tell that truth, because in my life is watched by Nigerians and Nigerians abroad, with a sprinkle, maybe 2% foreigners that are Weibos, maybe another 5% foreigners that are not Nigerians. Because yesterday on TikTok, I had a lady who was from Zambia or something, You understand? Now, John is one of the gentlemen that joins us here regularly. He has something to say about you. I'd like to bring him live, if you may permit, for 1 or 2 minutes. Don't worry, John is not going to bash you. John seems to be supporting some of the things you have to say. And John is also used to being under the boss. So let's hear what he has to say. Don't panic. You see, where I fault you is where you said it, not what you said. Not what you said, where you said it. If you had held a conversation with us, like I'm holding this conversation now, there are things that I can tell them. I saw Nigerian passports from one of the most powerful passports in the world, Don to Gota, in my very eyes. I saw the Nigerian currency. I was telling a story just before you joined. My mother and my father was in Nigeria, so my mother, we traveled to Romania and came back in I think 1984, 1982, one of those years. And my mother got to the airport and all she had was dollars. And after like 3 hours, my mother started crying because no taxi agreed to carry my mother because she did not have naira. And they were not willing to collect something that is less than 1 naira to go and be changing.
Real life. Real life.
Imagine I paid naira in something that is less than your money. Then I now have to drive to a hotel to go and change it.
Makes no sense.
Makes no sense. Eventually, we saw somebody that had mercy on us. My mother was literally in tears. That was how powerful the naira was. Was it the British people that did this to us? When they gave us the country, they gave us a strong country. Oh, yes, they had so many manipulations and all that, blah, 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 blah. But we could have, Singapore was a former British colony. America itself was a former British colony. They were able to pick up. But we are still playing around where we are playing around and not developing, and then still running to other countries. You understand? So do I disagree with you entirely? No. But those people are wicked. They don't want us to come, and they still spoil our country. So if you are reminding Nigerian brothers and sisters, you have every right to remind us that, look, we cannot carry our madness and go anywhere. But don't tell